HR Basics is a series of short lessons designed to highlight what you need to know about a particular human resource management topic. In today's HR Basics, we explore workplace conflict, understanding more about conflict in the workplace and how to solve it. Workplace conflict is a perceived divergence of interests, a belief that parties' current aims are incompatible. Anytime people work together, conflict is a normal part of doing business. Conflict's normal and natural in any workplace, but when it occurs, there's a tendency for morale to be lowered, for absenteeism to increase, and for productivity to decrease. One research study estimated that managers spend at least 25% of their time responding to workplace conflicts. Handling and resolving conflicts that arise in the workplace is one of the biggest challenges managers and employees face. There are many causes and reasons for conflict in a work setting. They include poor communication, where different communication styles lead to misunderstandings between employees or employees and their manager. A lack of communication drives conflict underground. Different values. Any workplace is made up of individuals who see the world quite differently. Conflict occurs when there's a lack of acceptance and understanding of these differences. Differing interests. Conflict occurs when individuals' workers fight for personal goals, ignoring organizational goals and well-being. Scarce resources. Too often, employees feel that they have to compete for available resources in order to do their job. In a resource-scarce environment, this causes conflict, despite awareness of how scarce resources may be. Personality clashes. All work environments are made up of differing personalities. Unless colleagues understand and accept each other's approach to work and problem solving, conflict will occur. And finally, poor performance. When one or more individuals within a work unit are not performing, not working up to their potential, and it's not addressed, conflict is inevitable. In resolving conflict, it's important to make sure you do the following. Clearly articulate the causes of the conflict and acknowledge that there will be different perspectives. Make a clear statement of why you want the conflict resolved and the reasons to work on the conflict. Communicate how you want the conflict to be resolved. Address issues face-to-face, and stick to the issues, and take time out if necessary. After all, conflict resolution can be messy, so take a step back if you need to restart the process. Because no two individuals have exactly the same expectations and desires, conflict is a natural part of our workplaces. The Thomas-Killman model was designed to illustrate the options we have when handling conflict. The TKI defines 5 approaches to resolving conflict. We'll get to those in a minute. There are also 2 dimensions of the model, assertiveness and cooperativeness. The TKI is designed to measure a person's behavior in conflict situations. Conflict situations are those in which the concerns of 2 people appear to be incompatible. In such situations, we can describe the individual's behavior along 2 dimensions, the continuums you see here. First, assertiveness, the extent to which the person attempts to satisfy his or her own concerns. And second, cooperativeness, the extent to which the person attempts to satisfy the other person's concerns. As I mentioned just a minute ago, there are 5 approaches that can be utilized to address workplace conflict. Competing, where the goal is to win. Collaborating, where we work together to find a mutually beneficial solution. Compromising, where we find middle ground. Avoiding, where we hide from the conflict. And accommodating, where we surrender our needs to please the other. Each of these 5 approaches are along both the assertiveness and cooperativeness continuums. The competing mode is at the top left of the model, which means an individual takes a wholly assertive and uncooperative approach to resolving the conflict. It means standing up for your rights, defending the position in which you believe is correct, or simply trying to beat the other side. An individual pursues his or her own concerns at the other person's expense. This is a power-oriented mode in which you use whatever power seems appropriate to win your own position. The collaborating mode is at the top right of the model, which means an individual takes an assertive yet cooperative approach. It means being willing to believe that in an impasse, it's possible for both sides to come out with what they want. Collaborating requires mutual respect, a willingness to listen to others, and creativity in finding solutions. Collaborating may take the form of exploring a disagreement to learn from each other's insights or trying to find a creative solution to an interpersonal problem. The compromising mode is at the center of the model because it's both assertive and cooperative, but only to some extent. Both sides get something, but not everything. The objective is to find an expedient, mutually acceptable solution that partially satisfies both parties. In some situations, compromising might mean splitting the difference between two positions, exchanging concessions, or seeking a quick middle ground solution. The avoiding mode is at the bottom left of the model, which means an individual takes an unassertive and uncooperative approach to conflict and they just don't deal with it. Avoiding might take the form of diplomatically sidestepping an issue, postponing an issue until a better time, or simply withdrawing from a threatening situation. Thus, he or she does not deal with the conflict. And finally, the accommodating mode is at the bottom right of the model, which means an individual takes a wholly unassertive and cooperative approach. This might take the form of selfless generosity, giving in to another person's orders when you would prefer not to, or yielding to another person's point of view. When accommodating, an individual neglects his or her own concerns to satisfy the concerns of the other person. There is an element of self-sacrifice. Each of us is capable of using all 5 of these approaches or modes. None of us can be characterized by having a single style when dealing with conflict, but certain people use some modes or approaches better than others, and therefore they tend to rely on those modes more heavily. Your conflict behavior in the workplace is a result of both your personal predispositions and the requirements of the situation you find yourself in. The TKI is designed to measure this mix of conflict handling modes and help you, your team, and your organization better resolve workplace conflict.